All right, week 14 at Agentuity. We have a few new faces. We got Gabriel and Pedro. Welcome, new team members working on all sorts of stuff. We're just hiring builders here, so they've had a great first week cranking out the code. So it's been a lot of fun. And of course, Kevin's out. Hopefully, he'll be back next week, which would be great. Good to see him. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into this. So a couple things for me to demo. One is, let me just do my entire screen. I think that'll be easier. All right. So there's a new blog post, video, and all sorts of things. It's LangChain's LangGraph. So there's a couple examples here for using LangChain in Agentuity. And if you're just tuning in, the way that we're approaching things is we are framework agnostic. So you can bring your own framework if you use a framework, or you can build your own, or just Vercel AI SDK and Bun. It doesn't matter. So there's three actually examples, simple examples with LangChain that you can use. So check that out. And then next week, what's coming? Let me hide this real quick. Let me show you this. Jeff, don't hate me. I'm using NeoVim here. Next week is Pydantic. So let me pull this up a little bit. So Pydantic, we'll have a couple samples from Pydantic AI. Actually, it's pretty, as much as I'm not very good at Python, I actually like Pydantic. It's pretty neat. So you'll get a couple examples of creating a Pydantic AI agent, and tools, and then how to use our Agentuity SDK in Python to run a Pydantic agent. So there'll be kind of like this roulette one. There'll be this bank support agent as an example as well. So look for that next week. We'll have a couple videos and snippets in a blog post and all that. So that's it for me. Pass it off to Matt.
All right. Been spending a lot of my time recently working on some product stuff, some growth stuff, and some event stuff as well. But figured we'd start here. So one of the new things that we have now is we actually have some emails set up so that when you actually sign up for Agentuity, you get a nice welcome email with some links to some resources, and just kind of telling you about the platform and the fact that you got $5 in free credits, etc. And as well as how to come join us in the Discord. If you're not in our Discord, come hang out. We're there every day. And we've got some additional emails that go out as well, part of the product growth marketing strategy, a bit of a drip campaign going on. So, if a customer comes and user signs up and they don't finish the onboard immediately, again, just sort of giving them some helpful tips on how to get started if they're struggling with that a little bit. And if they continue to not really engage, and maybe they're having a little bit of trouble getting set up, then we have additional emails with, again, additional avenues of how to get some assistance. So we've got it now where you can actually book a call with us and hop on the phone, and we can help you work through any issues that you have. Or even better, if you're building stuff with Agentuity, we'd love to hear what you're building. Come tell us about it. Let us know what your use cases are, how we can help you, etc. So that's been sort of a big part of my last few weeks, actually. In the same vein, working on some new landing pages and things for marketing. We're also going to start building out some of these landing pages a bit more to tell you how we work with the really popular different frameworks and LLMs and everything else. So those will be coming in the near future. Sort of sliding over into the app a little bit, some small changes I've made here and there. One is links now work. I don't know why we didn't do this the first time around. I think Jeff pointed this out. It'd be really nice if links actually were links. So we've got that in there now. Anywhere that you see this metadata, much like you can sort of go to a project or do the logs for it. Additionally, some other places we've just started making it easier to navigate around the application. So for instance, now we're looking at an agent here, and we're looking at storage for this agent. It's using this KV store. And so now you can actually click on this and go look at the KV for this agent nice and easily. Last thing I want to talk about, a little bit of a sneak preview here, just a little teaser. We are going to be at the AI Engineer World's Fair in early June in San Francisco. Please, if you're going to be in San Francisco at the event, come stop by, say hi, and tell us what kind of agents that you want to get building, and we'd love to talk to you about it. That's it for me.
Okay. I'm next on. So I worked on more CI stuff this week. And as a reminder, we have two different ways we can do deployments, automatic deployments. One is through the GitHub action here, and the other is through the GitHub app, which is like an OAuth process that you go through. And the improvement I made was if you're over here, right, in GitHub, you weren't able to see the deployments, right, which is kind of a downside of the between the two. So now, if you make a change to your target branch, you can see the deployment. You can even click details, and it will take you directly to the deployment logs. And yeah, so that was the first improvement. And then the other improvement was over in the IO category. So previously, if you had a couple of different agents, right, you had a webhook with authentication, you would have a different, it would automatically generate a token for every single agent, and you'd have to manually go through and update all those tokens to be exactly the same. But now we have a new selection here. You can select project, and now this agent will use the project, a new project token to authenticate with your agent. And you can also see that token over here. Should reveal this. The last thing I wanted to show off was some more collider changes. So now Collider will send the Slack message. It's a little bit cleaner. It tells you how many errors there are, and then you can click to see the test results, and it'll take you to our KV. And it's actually kind of shocking how bad Slack is at showing Markdown. Our KV is better at showing Markdown than Slack is. So that's why I ended up using KV here. And you can easily just see the test results right here. And then the second link here is a link to Devin, and it links to the session. Here he crashed actually, so I restarted the session over here. But he's starting to work through all the errors that we're seeing. And then let me pop over real quick. Better go. We can see here. The idea is that this will run every night at like 2 a.m. and then I'll wake up to a PR. And if there are any errors, Devin will have opened a PR and I can give some feedback here. So here he's trying to come out these anthropic models that weren't working, but he shouldn't do that, right? This is a valid error. But then in here, he like put these deprecated models in this map, and I'm telling him, hey, these are deprecated. You could just go ahead and remove them. And he actually is updating his knowledge and will remember this after the fact. So this is something we're also going to probably bring internal, but as a stopgap, we can use Devin to help update our integration tests. That's it for me.
Really awesome.
I think Gabriel's next.
Okay, in my case, I don't have much to show. I'm new here, right? But I work on two things which I think are more user-friendly, small tweaks. One of them is now whenever you receive the code for authenticating with Agentuity, you go to the website now, and now the code always shows uppercase because it didn't matter before if it was uppercase, if it were lowercase there, but now it always shows uppercase, so nobody needs now to wonder if it is uppercase or not. And another thing that I added is now whenever you create a new agent, on the final step where it asks you the path to set your agent project, it will actually have path completion now. So you can just do the path completions using Control E by default to complete the path. But you can scroll your path. You can type. You can use arrow up and down. It will cycle through the paths that it could recommend you. But now you have it. So now it's more friendly to create an agent. All right. So Pedro now.
Hey, hey guys, excited to be here. Also, first week. Nothing visually to show. I did fix a couple of bugs. I fixed actually a very annoying bug where if you added a secret mvar and deploy your app, it will always ask you for the variable. It seemed as if it was not saved on the server, but it was. So anyway, it was just a mismatch internally. So that's fixed. You don't need to set the secret mvar over and over again anymore. And then also worked on the installer script, basically making it more robust and cross-platform. Also dropping support for the Windows native installer. So Windows users now, they will need to use the Windows subsystem for Linux, which is WSL, and everything should just work. So just curl the install script, and then it will install using either SH or bash. So those are the two main things that I worked on this week. Cool. Robin.
Yep. Nothing to show today because I've been working on efficiency and speed improvements. Oh, sorry. You guys hear me okay? Yeah. Nothing to show today. I've been working on making our internal stack and infrastructure more efficient, focusing on speed and kind of looking at how we're going to be actually the next stage in native cloud. So that's it. Off to Jeff.
Hey y'all, I've just got a couple screenshots because I'm in the middle of a big set of changes and I didn't want to mess my environment up, but I worked a little bit on the dev mode, this new dev mode experience on the CLI side. Now it'll, instead of just kind of scrolling vertically with all your logs and kind of missing some of the context up front, we've got kind of a new terminal UI where it'll keep your premium settings kind of up top and it'll scroll underneath it. So that's kind of what it looks like. And then you can also get a public URL. This is me testing it locally. So this URL is local, but when it's in production, it'll be a production URL. So every dev mode session while you're running dev mode will have a public URL. So you can actually test things like Slack, or if you have other systems that you're trying to like pipe data into your agent, but when you're in dev mode, when you're doing it locally, it's kind of hard because you have to set up like an ngrok, and then you kind of mess up kind of missing some of our infrastructure for like that we're building out. So anyway, that's going to be part of the new dev mode. You can also do some really cool things like, you know, get more data and help and things like that as part of the new dev mode. So the rest of the week I've been spent on building some of the, Robin and I have been kind of pairing on some of the infrastructure changes for this, which have been pretty considerable, but also going to enable us to do a lot more interesting things down the road. So that's it for me this week. And I think that wraps us up. Thank you for everyone joining. If you haven't joined our community, as Matt said, we'd love to see you in Discord. And we'd love to hear a little bit of what you're trying to build, maybe what you are building if you're already using our product. We'd love to help you. And what a great week. And we will see you next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.